Welcome back to Grab a Drink with me, Marisol.
And Eliana.
We are starting off our podcast with our little drink here, and we're going a little basic, but we are having some semi-sweet red wine. It's a San Antonio Winery Imperial Red Reserve. So for those that are watching, there's a little picture. And then for those that are just listening, again, it's just a San Antonio semi-sweet red, just so that we can have a little...
Sorry, I have to take a sip.
It smells good. It kind of smells like church wine.
Church wine?
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers. Let me see. Okay.
It's a little dry because I felt it like dry
Your
my mouth instantly. But it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't know where I got
It's
it
good.
from, but it's good.
A winery in San Antonio?
Who knows? I don't know. Wait, either people will come and leave wine, or they'll buy us a bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, how I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, it says the location on the bottle.
But it's good. I like it.
Okay.
All right, so let's do a little weekly rewind.
Yeah.
You want to start and tell me about your week?
Yes, well, I'll start with Kevin Hart since we left off on
Yes,
that.
how'd it go?
That was hilarious. And when I say hilarious, I mean like ugly cry, makeup running, hilarious.
That's awesome.
We saw it at the AT&T Center and good seats, directly on. And he had, I don't know what group he has performing before him, but I guess it's a set group that he usually takes on tour.
Okay.
And they were funny. They were funny as well. But when Kevin Hart got on, you could tell like, not the difference in the funniness, but in the sense of like, you're literally like stomach cramping, laughing, relatable, kind of funny.
So I can only imagine because if that happens to me when I'm watching Instagram sometimes, like I'm laughing really hard.
Yeah.
For those 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I cannot even imagine.
It was just nonstop.
How long was it?
Maybe about an hour, maybe 45 an hour. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't too long. It wasn't too short, but it was funny from start to finish. Yeah.
It was an ab workout.
It was. I hope I lost
That's
a pound or
awesome.
two from it. Yeah, but it was really good. Let's see. Mijo came back from Atlanta.
Yeah.
I was super excited to see him. Super excited to hear about the trip, of course.
Yeah.
It was really good. He had a lot of fun. They did a lot of things. They went to the Coca-Cola Museum. They went to the aquarium. They went hiking even at one point. Yeah, they had a lot of fun. So a lot of outings and and that's really good because he starts school Mondays. So it's good to have kind of one last hoorah for the end of summer. But on my end, since we were kidless, basically, we went to a Hot Wheels Monster Truck show.
But you didn't tell him, did you?
I did tell him because Noelle's friend is like one of the people that talk during the show and like they announce the trucks and everything. And so she got his tickets. She's like, yeah, I always get free tickets. You know, hey, go see the show. And we were supposed to see one in Laredo, but that didn't happen. So we ended up going to the one here. And we were able to go to the crash pit where you can meet the drivers and everything. So we bought him, it's the Tiger Shark truck. So we bought him a hat, got it signed by them, and then bought him a toy. And we were like, well, you have a bunch of Tiger Shark stuff, so you can't open this toy because it's autographed.
Right.
And so he was like, I'm not going to open it. So he got home. Yesterday, I had picked him up because when he got in on Tuesday, his flight landed at 10.
Oh.
And so it was going to be kind of silly to pick him up and then, go home and rest and then take him back early the next morning again to my parents. So
Yeah.
I was able to see him yesterday, and he was super excited about his gifts and stuff.
Aww.
He had gifts for me. He got me a little keychain and stuff. I didn't really ask for anything.
Cute. Yeah.
I just wanted pictures. What was super cute about that is we had to teach him how to use a disposable camera. We had to take it back for a minute because he wanted to take pictures, and I was like, take a disposable camera. And he literally looked at it and he was like, how do you use this thing? And I was like,
I didn't even realize it. I was thinking of that not too long ago. Do they still make them?
They still make them, and they still produce film, like probably at Walgreens or like CVS and stuff. So, but I told him, I said, the important thing that you have to do is not move when you take the picture, because once you click it, that's it. You get one chance. Well, you can take more pictures, but then you're kind of wasting film taking the same thing. So I'm excited to see what his film's going to look like when he comes back.
That's cute.
But yeah, so I mean, we did a couple of things. I had a friend that had her baby this week, so that was super excited. Her first child. She had a little baby boy, and she kind of put it, when they kind of want to keep it a little, not secretive, but wait to announce,
yep.
On social media, like pictures and everything. So we got to see a little bit on Snap and everything, but she had her little baby boy, first one.
How
and
exciting.
Yeah, so I guess everything went well with the birth and everything. Kind of just gave her space so that she can have her moment and everything. But I will definitely find out soon because I want to know how it went.
I haven't had a kid in so long.
I know. My one time was traumatizing, so that's one and done. Yeah.
We'll have to revisit that. That'll have to be a topic.
Oh my God, that's a
obviously
story
I have
in
stories,
itself.
but
yeah, this is a story in itself, and that's literally what maybe was like, no, one and done for sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about your week?
Not a whole lot, but I had gotten a promotion at work, so I was super excited,
cool.
and I forgot about it. I know it sounds crazy. I did forget about it because my boss had told me a little while back, and she said, when they announce it, then you can change everything, and I was like, oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
but then I was off. And then when I logged in at work Monday, I'm like, oh, I guess they announced it because then you can kind of see everybody talking about the four of us that had gotten it. So that was exciting. I'm excited about that. Not a whole lot other than the regular because it's back to norm. But I did try a new food yesterday that we baked, and it was so flipping good. So easy, so good. And I think I had mentioned before, I had tried one, and there was like the pasta bake, but it was with meatballs. Well, this one was a chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
And it was so good. Like, there was just a tiny bit left today, and I really think it was one of the boys. I did.
Oh, okay.
Because they weren't here, and I'm like, I'm going to have it.
Just enough for me.
Yes, so that was really good. I did try a new dessert. I don't know what day it was. I made a dessert. And that was really good too. It was an eclair, but you make it with graham crackers, and then you put the pudding, and then a chocolate ganache on top. It was so good. It was really good.
Okay. I don't even know what an eclair is, but it sounds delicious.
You're losing me. Are like the donuts that have the chocolate on top, and then they're filled with the Bavarian cream in the middle. No?
Interesting. No.
We'll
By the way, I don't like filled donuts.
They gross you out.
Yeah, I only like is it cinnamon sugar donuts? I don't like glazes and stuff. I like plain or cinnamon sugar.
I like chocolate. Blake and Noah really like the eclairs, and it has to be Bavarian and it has to be chocolate because sometimes they have the maple.
We'll have to try it then.
Yeah, we'll have to. Maybe we'll have to try some new stuff.
Yes, we should.
But anyways, that was good, and my son's friend. They're moving down here. He's from Houston, which he typically when he comes, that's when he stays like a week at a time. But now, I told Rico he's been here. Like I know that's where they went, and he comes every night after we go to the gym, has dinner with us, and then he's like, "Okay, bye."
Oh, so he comes for dinner.
Yeah, he comes for dinner. So when I made that dessert, he says, Mrs. Salazar, this is really good, but this would be better if it was warm and maybe with the brownie. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it's a dessert in itself.
Yeah.
And then to add a brownie and then warm? No.
It's too much now.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'll keep that in mind for next time.
Yeah. Maybe next time.
Yeah. So, but he's been coming by. So it's funny because he comes in and he's like, hi again, it's me. And I'm like, hi. So
hey there, grab a plate.
Yeah,
Sit
exactly.
down.
I'm like, are you gonna eat with us? Okay.
Like
I don't want to twist your arm.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay. So
That's hilarious.
yeah, that's really it. Not a whole lot of anything besides life.
Yeah, and life itself. Yeah.
Did you see any interesting news? When you said babies, I was so excited because of Adrian. I think
yes.
Bayonne Hooten.
We're gonna butcher
from
this.
From the Cheetah Girls, who is with Rob Kardashian. I'm sure everybody knows. So excited they finally had a baby.
Yes.
But it looked like it was surrogate also.
Yeah.
But super exciting. I think his name was Ever James.
Ever James.
I know it was Ever. I might miss the middle one, but it was Ever James.
That's super cute. Exciting. That's literally, you had sent it to me, and I was like, she looks like the girl from Cheetah Girls. And the View. She was on The View, I think.
Yeah, and The View.
Yeah. so then I went and did some research, and I was like, she is the girl from Cheetah Girls.
Is.
That's how, like, I have to reference in that way. So talking off of that, I saw something else so that kind of popped up when I was looking like at E-News stuff, and it was Alexis. I can't even say her last name, but the girl from Rory from Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
Her husband filed for divorce after 8 years, and they had a kid together. Wow. So, but which is crazy because her relationship, I never really heard about it. You know, I never really knew, like, okay, did she get married? Did she have kids? Because it was kind of really, and what I was reading, at least in the articles, it was kind of like hush hush. They didn't really talk about each other when they did interviews. They didn't really walk carpets together or anything like that. So that was kind of surprising to see.
Married,
it was kind of sad,
divorced, and nobody knew about it, either one of them.
Yeah, I mean, it just was sad because I was like, you know, she, in Gilmore Girls at least, because that was kind of like my mom, me and my sister's show, we would watch it religiously. Yeah. We literally did. And just to see that that's not like how her life made out to be, but that there was just like, I don't know. I just wanted to reflect the character that she was in the show. And to see that it was kind of opposite of that, it kind of made me a little sad. But
it's crazy, like when you follow somebody like that, and then you hear their real life, you're like, oh, it's not like the TV show.
It's not
that you've been playing for 10 years.
Yeah,
no, it's not like that.
No, it's
like
not.
The soap opera people. I wonder, like you've done it for so long.
Yeah.
Do you really feel like that's your life? Or not, because I'm sure it's completely different.
Yeah, but I also know like some celebrities, they like it private. Like that's the one thing that they want to hold on to, where it's like my relationship, my family, like even social media, they didn't post things about one another. And I'm like, oh no, like I like to post about my family, obviously, but on my personal accounts. But like they just didn't even do those things. So I'm like, did you enjoy your relationship? Was it a good relationship? I don't know. That's just me. Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Talking about shows, I watched 90 Day Fiance. And they had the Tell All Part 1 this past Sunday, so we were waiting to see it because there's some pretty crazy people on there. But they were all there, which is surprising because not everybody is there all the time. Yeah. But 2 couples ended up saying that they were pregnant.
Really?
Yeah, and I already knew about one because social media
puts it out there.
Yes. Yeah. I had gone on there that morning and I was like, oh, she's pregnant. And she was like already big pregnant, but I don't know how far they do this show. Yeah. But they're both fixing to be due in November. So I'm like, oh, that was fast. Yeah. And they both said it happened pretty quick after they got married. Wow. So I was excited to see that.
That's cute. Babies are always a joy.
They are.
Yeah. What's not a joy is watching football on my TV. Football season has started. The pre-weeks, I don't know what the terminology is for it, but football is on my TV, and it's not that I'm not happy about it. When it comes to sporting events, I like to be in person. Yes. I like to be in the crowd cheering it on. Like we've gone to we've gone to Austin, the UT game. That was a different experience in itself. Like I've been to the UTSA one, you know, go Roadrunners and everything. I love it. The UT one is like, it's intense. Yeah, it's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother ordeal. Wow. But I like to be at the sporting events. Watching it on TV and it cranked up to like 40 on volume I'm not a fan. But I mean, don't tell Noelle that. Yeah.
You know what? I don't like watching football on TV either. I mean, I like to be able to like, oh, okay, I want to come over and watch the game. Yeah. I mean, I'll make all the stuff and whatever, but I don't want to sit there and watch it. Yeah. No, I like the hype of it, but I don't like to watch it. I'm not.
Or the second half. Call me for the second half. Yeah. I'll watch because then I want to see who's going to win. Yeah. But the first half and the first, I don't know how many quarters. 4. I was going to say, wait a minute. It's first half, second half. The first part before the halftime. There we go. I'm lost. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, call me when the second after halftime starts. And I'll jump in. Yeah. If it's a team that I like too. Yeah. If it's something that's like, I don't know, Buccaneers or something, like, no, I'm okay. I'm good. Yeah. Yeah. So football's back.
That's true because they were, I think, talking about that. Blake and Rico were watching some show, I want to say on Netflix. And it was it was like training camp and stuff like that. So he was trying to show him some stuff that they were doing so he could understand what they were trying to explain to him. Yeah. So that he could get it maybe a little bit better, that it's not just when you're in, middle school, high school and all that. It's also in the big games. That's exactly how they do it. So they're watching. It was pretty interesting. And this one guy, when I walked in, I saw this one guy was late to practice. And he had to sing in front of everybody. He sang a Michael Jackson song. I don't remember. First, he kind of messed up, and everybody clowned him. And then he did it, and then all the guys are singing and stuff. And so I don't know if he'll be late again. But yeah.
Well, but if he enjoyed the singing, I don't think he minds then either.
Yeah, no. Shows. Christine Quinn from Selling Sunset said that she's officially leaving Selling Sunset. Yep. And that she started her own firm with her husband. I think it's called Real Open, which we kind of figured because of the way it ended last season. Yeah. I won't say a whole lot because I know that you had said you hadn't watched it. I haven't watched it. It was intense, and she wasn't on this last season a whole lot because she's drama with the capital D. Yes. But I guess she's not coming back, so we'll see if they have anybody else joining them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I
Well, it was kind of a short media update. I mean, I really didn't have too much other.
It wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
I don't think.
There wasn't a lot going on this week, at least that I've noticed.
Yeah, me either. There wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah. But as for topics, at least, we were thinking about talking to who we follow on social media, at least Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I, for the most part, when I look as to who I follow a lot of keto pages. Yeah. I'm not big into like nutrition or anything. I do like to eat things with flavor. But I noticed that my regular eating habits, a lot of them are kind of along the keto guidelines, maybe the lazier keto, if I had to pick one. Yeah. I don't know all the different variations either. So, I mean,
there seems to be a lot.
There's a lot. There's definitely a lot. There's a lot of, the intense ones, counting your macros and stuff. Not only that. But I do like a lot of like protein and cheeses and stuff. And so I do follow at least Keto Snacks. It's a guy based out, I think, out of Austin that he does a lot of good recipes and stuff. Easy, simple.
I was going to say they're easy, right?
Easy. And that's why I follow him, because it's easy. It's literally a few steps. Yes. It's literally a protein, a cheese, and some type of garnish, and bam, done. And I'm like, I could do that. Yeah. I could do that. So I noticed that I follow a couple of keto pages, or Keto Nation, I think, is one too that I follow. Maybe. You know what I will say though? I made a baked chicken. It had I can't think of the marinara that's usually the keto friendly one. I can't even.
No sugar one.
Yeah, it's three letters, Rouse, or maybe 4. That and mozzarella. And you broil it. And the seasoning is like Italian seasoning, garlic. But the only thing I did notice is I did that. I followed the recipe. I think my chicken breasts were a little thicker because when I took it out, the lady was like, 20 minutes, pop it in the oven. And I was like, no. And I'm the type of person that needs to cut into my chicken to make sure, because I am not eating anything raw. I will not. I cut into the chicken and I was like, this is raw. So let me pop it back in. So I put in another 15 minutes or so, checked it again. It was much better. And then obviously I broiled the mozzarella cheese on top. But the chicken didn't have flavor. It was dry. And I don't know how to like I'm not going to...
Did you put a lot of seasoning on both sides maybe? And
I followed the video. She put seasoning on one side. She literally tossed in the pan. Seasoning on one side, marinara on top, and then bake it. And then take it out and put the cheese and broil it for like 5 minutes. Yeah. And the cheese was amazing. It was the best part. But the chicken was dry. And I was like, why? I like white meat too. Yeah, so I wasn't too upset about it, but I was like, all this seasoning that I like did nothing. And where is the flavor? So...
Well, you know what?
It's a work in progress.
I tend to do on recipes that I follow, I'll do it the exact way the first time. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to change it. And then I'll kind of change it up, add my own ingredients, or, I don't know, do it a little bit different. Yeah. Because, so you can probably do it again. Yeah. and then just change it up, like how you do the seasonings or however.
Maybe I'll
cook it a little bit
Yeah.
before you put the marinara, and then add the marinara to warm up.
Yeah.
And
because it probably honestly got lost in the marinara, the seasoning. Because you just dump it on top and bake it, but it wasn't that much flavor. I did like it though. I mean, Noel ate the whole thing and he took leftovers for the next day. So I was like, well, it got eaten, so that's good.
That's a win.
It's a win in my book. It's super simple, easy to put together. I was like, you know what, I'll take it.
And you know what? You could probably add some spaghetti squash on the side.
I added veggie noodles.
Or veggie noodles.
Yeah. I don't know what part about them are veggie. No, not that kind.
Oh,
the one
like
that veggie pasta.
Oh.
I'm doing air quotes for the ones that aren't watching. Yeah, I added the veggie pasta. I don't, like I said, I don't know how much percentage wise it's veggie.
Yeah.
But I did those because I tend to like those a little bit better too. But yeah, I mean, a lot of keto. Who do you follow? Sorry.
No, I
sprung that on you.
So I follow a few different people because it's really, I like anything that has foods and drinks, and I'm always like, oh, look at this. But Macy Blackwell, she's the one that does easy recipes, and I want to say she's the one whose recipe I made last night, the chicken, because it's easy and fast, and that's what I need. And then sometimes I alter it, where I'm like, okay, maybe we're not doing that many carbs, or maybe we're not doing that much, whatever. So when I go and I buy the ingredients, then I kind of adjust like that. But Noah was excited, and he wanted veggie noodles, but it was really, we were going to just spiralize some zucchinis and then kind of do it. And he was going to put the chicken and the marinara on top. But
it doesn't turn out mushy.
So he asked about that.
That's
so I
my
tell him you have to
problem,
put it
is mine turn out mushy.
You have to put it on a higher heat because it does release a lot of water. So that way it can kind of do it and then take it out before it gets like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but he smelt it because he helped me make it. I made it and I said, okay, I'm going to call you, put it in the oven. When it dings, call me and I'll give you the next step, which really was just add the cheese, put it back in the oven, and then that's it. But he stirred it and he's like, yeah, I think I'm just going to eat it like that because it smells really good.
Oh, he was already ready to eat.
Yeah, so he did that. So Macy Blackwell, I follow Rob Dial. He's a mindset mentor. He gives a lot of inspirational things, but does little videos and stuff like that. So I like his. Kat Fairchild, she's my girl. I love her. I do
like her. Yes. I like watching her put on her makeup.
Yes. Yeah. And I tell my husband all the time, her husband is so funny. Like, I don't know how she does it sometimes. And she's so laid back. Like, she truly is like that because I've talked to her before. And
oh, yeah?
Yes, I love her. She's super sweet.
Yeah.
And I like to see all the things that she does.
Yeah.
She gets. Did you see she got like a new Porsche? She got her Tesla.
No. Yeah. I haven't looked lately because it's been a little hectic. But she's one that I do like to try and watch and keep up with.
I like her. The other one that we like to watch is Sheena Melwani. I may have said that wrong, but she's a singer. But her and her husband, they're always playing pranks on each other. The thing with her husband is that he doesn't show his face. He's got like a big cartoon face.
Is it like edited or
I guess
like he's wearing something?
No. It's like part of the video. I don't know how he does it, but they've talked about once I get to this many viewers, he'll show his face. But he hasn't. They've surpassed it numerous times.
So he keeps you hooked.
Yes, they're
because you want to see his face now.
Yes, but they're so funny. They tell crazy jokes. They do things to each other. And she's an influencer also, so she does a lot of videos. And there's times that when she does her makeup and stuff, she sits on her sink. I feel like I would fall because it gives me anxiety every time.
Like in the sink?
She puts her feet in the sink and she's sitting on the edge while she's looking in the mirror.
I'd fall back.
Yes.
I'd fall out of that.
I feel like I would fall back, and it gives me anxiety every time. And I'm like, oh, she's going to fall back. No. And then your feet are going to get caught in the faucet.
Yeah, and it's going to be dangling backwards.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
That's another one that's super funny. So I like to, some of the kids say, because it's funny and it's usually clean. But so in general, just food and drink stuff.
Yeah. I think
they're funny people.
Other things that I follow is like locals. I like to support local businesses. So whether it's like handbags or like things that we see at like the little market days we have in town, I tend to follow.
Yes.
I do follow those kind of things.
You pass by and you're like, okay, let me do your QR code.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And they're always like ready with their QR codes, their little business cards or whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, my nose itches. They have stuff that obviously they're like, follow me on social media. And then I look at it, I'm like, oh, I want that. I want to buy that. I want that too. Add that to cart. And I'm like, cart's too full. Yeah. Speaking of cart, I do follow Target finds.
Yes.
Any type of Target find. And then what upsets me is that I don't find. I go looking purposely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I follow them and I like the posts and everything, either Target or Walmart, because those are the two main places that I feel like I'm there weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I follow a lot of those things. But I think that's pretty much it for follow. I was wanting to talk about working out. And I say it like that because I have not worked out since before COVID.
Really?
And I've seen a difference. Yeah. I've seen an ugly difference to better, or what is it called? A better way to put it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I was just wondering, like, what is your routine? What motivates you? I think that's where I'm at right now, is the motivation or the lack of motivation, because I have none.
Yep.
But I realize it. I realize that there needs to be something done. And I realize it when I'm trying to be active with my son.
Right.
When I'm trying to, in a sense, keep up.
Yeah.
And it's not like we go running in the park or anything like that, but just like normal everyday activity.
Alexa, she always thinks we're talking to her.
I know. She's creeping on our conversations.
She is.
But yeah, what do you do for working out, or how do you stay active?
So I think for me, what I always share with the kids, and I've always liked to go running with them. I like to do stuff outdoors. And I've tried to instill that in them since they were little, just because I feel that it's not necessarily how you look, but it's how you feel. And I always tell them that, unfortunately, the genes that they have from their dad are not great. So I want them to be as healthy as they can, and I want them around for a long time. So I want to make sure that they can that they stay active, and you just feel better.
You really general. Do. I feel the difference.
Yeah, and I think, and that's what I always tell them, that it's not necessarily about the looks. Obviously, that helps, because then that in itself,
I look real cute, but
it's
apart from that, I'm realizing, and it's wear and tear, like simple things. Like majority of the work that I do is on the floor, and getting up and down, and my joints hurt. Yeah. I come home sore, my feet hurt, but it all has to do with my weight. Yeah. And I'm well aware, and that's the struggle for me, is that I'm well aware, and I've gone to the doctor. I've gone to the female doctor and blamed it on my birth control and told her, this thing is either plateauing my weight or it's making me gain. Yeah. Look at these numbers, right? And she ran all sorts of tests and said, it is not your weight. I mean, it's not your birth control.
Yes, it is. I'm just saying.
I know. I was like, you want to go do those tests again? I'm sure you're going to find other results.
Yeah.
My health is not necessarily perfect, but it's pretty good. It's good in the sense of it's just me being lazy and needing to get active. That's what it comes down to. And that's what she flat out told me. And after hearing that, I still haven't made a change. There's no motivation. All summer long. This is the sad part. Noelle works at a gym. I have free membership.
Yeah.
And I still have not gone. I went one time to the gym. And it felt great. Oh my gosh. It felt great to like go.
Right.
And then I was like, do I want to go tomorrow? I don't know. Let me check my schedule.
So, schedule. You just need to put it on your schedule.
What part of the schedule?
Whatever part is the easiest for you. So you need to be able to say, okay, you know what? It's easier for me to do it at this time, because if not, you will make an excuse, and you'll say, no, because I have to cook dinner.
I gotta do this.
No,
I gotta do that.
Can't because I have to go to work by this time. Or no, I can't because I have to go do. No. So do it maybe first thing in the morning. I know it's early.
I have to be at work at 7.
Maybe start off with, but you also get home a little bit earlier.
I do. I get home on average about 4:30. If I'm not And okay, so see, this is the thing. Mijo was like, when during the week, go run your errands, go to the gym if you want, pick me up later at Learning Tree because you always pick me up before I go outside. When I get out of work, I'm dragging dead, like tired. And so I'm like, I just rather pick you up and go home. But there's a time that I could at least go to the gym for an hour because I'm paying for the service for him to go to, after school care.
Yeah.
I could go. So yeah, I think it's
so
just time to stop making excuses and fit it in my schedule.
Have him hold you accountable. That's what I tell the kids. Like, if I want something, like, hold me accountable. Make sure. Ask me, how many bottles of water have you drank today, Mom? Or how much have you done today? Did you go work out, Mom? Or, hey, because if they're holding you accountable,
it'll motivate you.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll keep you on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't say that you didn't do anything because you walk your dog.
I do, not often. So that is, I do, but the heat. The heat's bad. This is my dilemma. I live in an apartment. I know, I'm giving those excuses. Yes. I'm well aware. Okay, so I live in an apartment. Noel doesn't get off till late, but the schedule's changing, so he'll be home earlier. So I might be able to take out Bear probably around like 8 p.m. to walk him because it irks me. It irks me when I see dogs on pavement without shoe covers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I refuse to walk him in 3-degree weather. So to know that his little paws are burning and might blister, I won't do it. I will literally like run around in the apartment with him so that he can get out his energy versus taking him outside so he can burn his little paws.
Yeah.
But I do like walking him because he pulls me. He's a strong dog. He weighs under, I want to say 90, over 80, maybe about like 82, 83, 84, something around there. So he pulls me. So that motivates me to step a little quicker.
Yeah.
And then he tires out by the end of the walk. And I like to take him for 2 miles at least. I know that's a lot, maybe, but it gets out his energy. It's a good amount of walking for me.
Right.
And at the same time, we're both one and done. Like, we're out there doing it, and we get home, and he's exhausted. I get to shower and move on to the next thing. So I think that is something that I'm going to start when his schedule changes because Mijo, he likes to come, but then he's all over the place. And he ends up drinking Bear's water. I'm like, that water bottle's for Bear. Like, don't drink it.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, there's time to stop making excuses and just do it.
So you have to tell yourself, okay, I have a son, and I'm his sole caregiver. You know what?
Is it sad that's not doing it right now?
It should start sending you reminders. What kind of exercise did you do? And that's a lot of the times is that I hear some of these people. They'll say is find yourself that accountability partner. And I'm sure if you told Noel, he would probably hold you accountable.
Yes. He's, are you ready to go to the gym? And I'm like, what time are you going? He goes Saturday morning. He sets his alarm for 7:00. And we'll be out the door 10 minutes later. I'm going to go to the gym. I'll be back so we can get our day started. I'm like, dude, like, sleep in. Get a little snooze.
I do like to go early.
I do too, though. That's the problem.
That I can get it over with and then get my day started. Yeah. Because a lot, for me, like on the weekends, and I'll tell Chloe, hey, tomorrow, I want to go early. Let's go. 1, because it does get hot. And 2, by the time I get back, maybe everybody's already getting up. And I didn't take away time from them. Yeah.
You utilize the time, honestly. Yeah. Because that time you're literally just sleeping or doing nothing.
Yes. And so, which I have a hard time doing is I hate wasting time, which is why I don't take baths, besides the fact that it's gross to sit in a bathtub. That's just my opinion.
You're kind of sitting in your own germs.
Yeah. I don't like to take baths. But I always say that is that I don't like to waste time. And sleeping is a waste of time. I know we have to do it, but it's a waste of time. I don't do naps because
God forbid, your body does not shut down. Your body does not say, Marisol, you're getting tired.
Yeah, but no.
Oh, you ignore it.
Yeah, I mean, I push myself, and I tell that to the kids too. I'm like, hey, sometimes you got to just push through it. Like, if you're not feeling great, push through it. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, you have to, because if not, can you imagine every time you're like, I'm feeling good, I'm going to go lay down.
I don't have to imagine that's what I do. I don't have to imagine it. I do it.
Yeah.
I need to imagine that side of it, though. Push through. Because honestly, something has to give. Yep. Something definitely has to give.
But you don't want something to happen to force you to do it.
And that's the sad part. My health It's doable. My house, there's nothing holding me back.
Yeah.
I get so frustrated thinking about it because I am just lazy. And maybe it runs in the genes. I don't know. I mean, I have some commonality with my uncle.
Yeah, once you start, you know what? With him also is that if he gets going, and he'll tell the boys, tell me when you're going to the gym. Mm-hmm. One of them goes twice a day.
Yeah.
Another one fits between work.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes he'll go twice a day on his day off, more than times once. And they're like, okay, Dad, we're giving you 3 shots. Like,
yeah.
Twice that one's going, one that the other one's going, and then me. He doesn't like to do outdoor stuff,
mm-hmm.
which I've shared before. So he's like, he's like, sorry. So I bought him for Christmas a Nordic Track bike, and I'm like, guess what?
Cool.
I got your Nordic Track bike in the room, and he's like, okay. And then it was like, yeah, the seat kind of hurts. Okay, do you need pants? Like shorts?
What do you need?
Bike
a bigger
shorts.
seat.
What do you? Yes.
That's my problem is a bigger seat. Well,
yeah.
because I have a lot to work with. But
and so he'll start, but I think it's just hard for him to stay motivated.
Yes.
But when he does it, he's like, man, I feel great.
Yes.
And it takes you either getting sick or something to take you off of it
mm-hmm.
for a little while, and then it's hard to get back on.
Yeah, it's hard to jump back on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the motivation and just keeping it consistent.
Yeah. So for me, what I try and do is the food. I'm like, I have to keep you alive by giving you better food. Yes, we have food that's not so great, but I do try.
Majority of the food you eat is good though.
Yeah, I try and do that so that because I tell him, boy, you ain't leaving me here with 4 kids. Like like you help me get them here.
Yeah,
like we're working the ship together because
yeah.
That would be a lot. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, you still have a 10-year-old. Like,
you
got a long ways. I need you to kind of stay here a while.
True.
So that's, I don't know. And for me, but I've always liked to...
You've always liked to be active.
Yes. I mean, ever since I was little, I've always been a tomboy. I've always been an outdoors person. When he met me, and he jokes about it, but he's like, I met you and was like, okay, yeah, no. He goes, but then you changed and you weren't wearing, because I was wearing like your gym shorts
mm-hmm.
and my t-shirt with my sleeves up, which I still do.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, and you looked like that's what you did. But I did. That's all I ever
mm-hmm.
wore. And now I'm like, okay, so then I moved to like leggings and the shirts. But I've always just been very active since I was...
See, in my childhood, growing up, we grew up in the cul-de-sac, so I was active in that sense.
Yeah.
But when I got to school, like middle school and high school, I kind of shied away, and I was more of the artsy kind. So I was more of like getting my hands dirty and doing things, and then I kind of did like clubs and stuff. But I wasn't like, oh, I want to go play softball. Oh, I want to go do volleyball. Like that didn't really fit me, and I wasn't. But when it came down to it, would I go to the park and play, like, shoot hoops and stuff? Yeah, I would do that because that was fun. And I've always kind of worked with children, so it's kind of like, I feel like I'm active, but then that's also, too, it's like your norm. Your body's used to doing those things, so it's not necessarily a workout. Or it's not something, it's not something that's pushing you. So I think I'm just going to tell myself, honestly, my son is my motivation for a lot of things, and I need to go back and look at that and see that I do want to last a very long time for him. I do want to be around, but I want to do, especially since he's at a good age where we could do a lot of more active things. Like, okay, today I played soccer with a kid.
Oh, good.
I did. And I was like, trying to go back and forth, but it was a lot of fun. And my little, I'm sure my little ring on my watch closed for exercise.
That's good.
It said I did, and that was in the morning. So hopefully I can get on a better track, but I think once Noel's, and that's the thing, it's like I need to not make excuses or keep waiting. I just need to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm figuring out. I just need to do it tomorrow.
Yep. Start tomorrow, start Saturday.
Yeah.
I always say kind of like school. They started in the middle of the week. So it kind of puts them in just a little bit, and then they have the weekend to rest and start back up on a Monday. So maybe start in the middle of the week, not a Monday, because you're like, okay, or start, on a Friday and, okay, I'm going to do this today, then and then I'll start back again to kind of dip your toes.
A little bit.
Yeah. Maybe try something, see what works for you.
Yeah, something has to work. Because I do enjoy, when I'm in it, I enjoy it. And then I see changes and I see, oh, my pants are fitting a little looser. Oh, my sleeves aren't tied around my, massive arms. Like, I feel a little different. So I'm like, oh, I like it. Like, yeah. And that kind of, that's where it gets me motivated when I see the difference. But I need to make the initial step. Yeah. That's where I'm struggling. The lack of motivation. Yeah.
Nope, you can do it. So if anybody has any tips,
yes.
Maybe tips, tricks that
Your
they
routines,
do. Yeah, routines that are basic, maybe with kids, without kids, people that work. Because there's some people that I see and I'm like, but you don't have kids. You look great. You don't have kids. You work out 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
You're not married. You have no kids.
Of course you could fit it in.
I need somebody who's married, who has kids. And works. Mm-hmm. Now let's figure out how to.
What do you do? Mm-hmm. That's what I need to know.
Yeah. So maybe people can share with us.
That's a good idea.
Some stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I think I don't know if you have anything else.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
About it.
Yeah.
All right, and then we were supposed to just kind of to touch a little bit. We were supposed to have a special guest, but he wasn't feeling well, and so he had some stuff going on. As I spit. But he will definitely come on at some point in the coming weeks. We're excited to have him. He'll bring some different energy and share some different opinions. Yeah, definitely. So, but I think that's it. So
stay tuned for that, I guess.
Yes, stay tuned in the coming weeks for that.
Yes.
But until then, we will see you guys next time.
All right. Bye.